Chosen one, listen. Heaven has stilled everything around you so this moment could find you. You were not brought here by chance, nor by a wandering scroll of destiny. You were brought here by divine appointment. Every breath you take right now is confirmation that the Almighty has not abandoned you. You are not lost, you are located. You are not forgotten, you are seen. This message is heaven's reminder. You have come too far to doubt the one who carried you this far. You have walked through fire, and somehow the flames could not consume you. You've been through storms, and yet here you are, standing, breathing, listening. That is not coincidence. That is divine preservation. There were nights when you wondered, God, are you still with me? The silence made you question. The delays made you doubt. But even when you could not trace His hand never released you. Every tear that fell was counted. Every prayer you whispered into the darkness was heard. Heaven never turned away. You thought you were fighting alone, but you were surrounded by angels, even in the unseen. The wilderness was never a punishment. It was a classroom where strength was born and obedience was refined. Listen carefully. Chosen one, you have reached a point in your journey where faith is no longer optional, it is oxygen. You must remember who brought you this far, because forgetting that truth is how the enemy steals your hope. There is still purpose in your pain. There is still divine order in what looks like chaos. God never invests so much in someone just to abandon them halfway. You must understand, chosen one, faith is not fragile emotion. It is the language of heaven. When everything around you screams, give up, faith whispers, keep walking. It is the bridge between what you see and what God has already declared. Every step forward is prophecy in motion. The darkness tried to drown your song, but your spirit refused to be silenced. Every time you chose hope over despair, heaven took note. You did not survive by accident, you endured by design. The storms were not sent to break you, they were sent to reveal your strength. Every delay that made you weep was secretly working in your favor. The waiting forged wisdom, the pain birthed perception. You are not the same person who once doubted everything. You now carry sacred fire in your soul, the kind that only suffering can refine. Chosen one, the path ahead may still tremble beneath your feet, but fear not. What once wounded you will soon worship with you. The very things that hurt you will testify for you. God does not abandon masterpieces mid-creation. He perfects them in the presence of disbelief. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 20, "And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age." Let those words settle into you like holy fire. You are not standing in your own strength. The same power that parted the Red Sea and raised the dead is holding you up right now. Your survival is proof that grace is not finished with you. You are being reminded today, this is not the end. The delay is not denial. The pain is not punishment. It is transformation in disguise. What feels like loss is actually a redirection toward promise. God has not changed his mind about you. Every closed door was divine protection. Every setback was sacred strategy. Do not scroll away. Do not run from this moment. Heaven has paused your day to deliver a reminder that you are still part of the divine blueprint. You have not been replaced. You are still chosen. Now rise, lift your head, and breathe again. The wilderness is almost over. The light ahead is not a mirage, it is the dawn. You were not brought this far to be left behind. You were brought this far to be revealed. If this word finds your spirit and you know it speaks to you, show your faith in action. Like, share, and comment 777 below as your prophetic declaration that you still believe. And if your heart knows this is divine truth, subscribe so that the next word of heaven finds you again when you need it most. You are the proof that God's promises endure through every storm. You are the living evidence that grace never walks away. Chosen one, now that the voice of heaven has found you again, let us walk deeper into remembrance. You have carried scars, some visible, others buried so deeply that only God and the angels know their names. Those wounds are not shameful marks of failure. They are sacred signatures of survival. Every scar tells a story heaven already recorded before you were born. There were moments you thought the pain would never end. Nights where you pressed your pillow against your face, whispering prayers through trembling lips, hoping God heard even the broken syllables. You did not realize it then, but every silent cry became incense before the throne. Your scars became testimonies, and your weakness became worship. You are still standing, not because you were the strongest, but because mercy refused to let go. The world often measures strength by how loudly one can roar, but heaven measures it by how quietly one can endure. Your silence in suffering was louder than 1,000 sermons. Each time you chose not to retaliate, not to curse what broke you. Heaven leaned in and said, "That one belongs to me." The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 17. "But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord." Think of the scars of Jesus, the nail marks in his hands and feet, even resurrected. He kept them not as reminders of suffering, but as proof of victory. You too bear proof that you've overcome what was meant to destroy you. Each scar on your soul is an echo of resurrection, a living mark that says, you cannot kill what God has called to rise again. You have been misunderstood by many. Some saw your silence as weakness, your withdrawal as defeat, but they did not know you were in training. Heaven had enrolled you in a curriculum too divine for public explanation. You were learning patience, resilience, and the quiet art of trusting when everything screams to give up. There were days when even prayer felt heavy, when faith seemed like a foreign language. Yet you stayed. You remained. You did not curse God when life turned bitter. That alone made you a warrior in heaven's eyes. Your scars are medals of honor in the invisible realm. Chosen one. It's time to stop hiding the evidence of your becoming. Your scars do not disqualify you. They identify you. They show that you have been through something that ordinary souls could not survive. You have wrestled with darkness and come out still carrying light. That is no small thing. When you look at your reflection and see the faint traces of what you've endured, remember this. The scar means the wound is healed. It no longer bleeds. The pain has served its purpose. The place that once burned with agony now shines with oil. You are walking evidence that broken things can still be holy. God has seen every moment when you thought, I can't do this anymore. And every time you whispered that, heaven whispered back, but you will. Your endurance was not powered by your own will. It was sustained by grace. That is why you are still here. Still breathing. Still believing. Even when logic said you should have fallen apart. And if you look closely, you'll realize that even your scars have direction. They point toward your destiny. They show where you've been, but also where you are going. The same God who allowed the wound is now guiding you toward restoration. Nothing was wasted. You are like a tree that has been cut, yet still grows. The mark of the cut remains, but life continues to flow through the trunk. That is you. You have been wounded, but you still rise. You still believe. You still love. You still hope. That persistence is sacred. Remember how Joseph was thrown into a pit by his own brothers. Yet years later, he could say, "What you meant for evil, God meant for good." Your story carries that same redemption. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the rejection, all of it has become divine material for the masterpiece called you. Do not curse the scars anymore. Begin to thank God for them, because they remind you that what once hurt now heals others. The pain that nearly broke you is the very testimony that will set someone else free. God trusted you with pain because He trusted you with purpose. He knew you would not let bitterness have the final word. The world sees scars as deformities, but heaven sees them as evidence of transformation. They are the holy handwriting of your becoming. Every healed wound whispers, "I lived. I overcame. I am still chosen." Let today be the day you stop covering what heaven calls beautiful. Stand tall in your story. Let the light hit your scars until they shine. You are no longer a victim of what happened. You are a vessel of what survived. Chosen one. Your scars sing songs of survival. Let them remind you that grace always wins. Chosen one. Every unanswered question has been leading you here to this moment of revelation. You thought the waiting was wasted time, but it was actually heaven's hidden classroom. What you called delay, God called development. The quiet seasons were not punishment. They were preparation. Every moment that felt like stillness was sacred, training for what's next. You see, heaven teaches in whispers, not in noise. When God hides you, it is never rejection. It is refinement. There are lessons that can only be learned when the applause stops, when the crowd disappears, when it's just you and your Creator. That's where you begin to understand purpose without needing validation. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 5, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding." End of fee. That is heaven's curriculum. To trust when nothing makes sense. To believe when logic has no explanation. To keep walking when the map burns in your hands. That's what separates the chosen from the called. The chosen keep trusting through confusion. You thought you were waiting for a door to open, but God was waiting for your heart to mature. He wasn't withholding the promise. He was strengthening your foundation. Because if He gave you what you prayed for too early, it would have crushed you instead of crowned you. Delay is not denial. It is divine timing, wearing disguise. Chosen one. You have been sitting in what looked like silence, but heaven has been busy behind the scenes. While you were waiting, angels were arranging. While you were crying, purpose was aligning. You thought nothing was moving, but the roots beneath your soul were deepening for the weight of coming glory. You were not being ignored, you were being invested in. Every closed door protected you from a counterfeit opportunity. Every unanswered prayer shielded you from an outcome that would have destroyed you. The longer you waited, the deeper your character grew. And character is the container that holds divine power. So when you look back, you'll realize you were not delayed, you were developed. Heaven was teaching you how to trust the unseen. Faith is not proven in blessings, it's proven in waiting rooms. And you, beloved, have graduated from waiting well. You may have thought the wilderness was empty, but God was there the entire time, hiding you, shaping you, pruning away everything that could not go with you into the promise. The wilderness is not the end of the story, it is the womb of destiny. Every promise begins in a hidden place before it is born into public light. Chosen one, you were never behind schedule. You were right on heaven's clock. The divine timeline doesn't run by your wristwatch. It runs by obedience, not anxiety. You had to be still to learn how to hear. You had to lose control to understand, surrender. That is why the delay came. It came to teach you divine rhythm. If you only knew what God was protecting you from while you waited, you would thank Him for every moment. He said, "Not yet." You see, protection often looks like disappointment. Closed doors are not rejection, they are redirections that save your destiny. So now, when you step forward again, do it with peace, not panics. The version of you that began the waiting season could not handle what is about to come. But the version standing now is prepared. You have learned not just faith, but trust. You have learned not just patience, but presence. Your waiting season has turned into your wisdom season. You see differently now. You recognize that delay is where discernment grows. You no longer measure success by speed, but by surrender. And heaven smiles at that maturity because you are finally walking at the same rhythm as grace. Do not despise slow progress. Chosen one, God moves with precision, not pressure. Every step forward is perfectly timed. Your process was never about punishment, it was about preparation for a greater release. You had to sit in silence to learn the sound of His voice. So, take a deep breath. The waiting wasn't wasted. Every unanswered prayer has become a brick in the foundation of who you are becoming. Heaven has been teaching you not to chase blessings, but to become one. You are the lesson embodied trust, endurance, patience, and peace wrapped in divine purpose. If this resonates in your spirit, write these words in the comments: I will wait. And because when you declare, I will wait, you are not announcing delay, you are prophesying trust. You are telling heaven, I believe, even when I don't understand. You are saying, I choose faith over frustration. That is the declaration that shifts atmospheres. The moment you say it, the waiting turns into worship, and the delay turns into destiny. Chosen one, heaven smiles when you wait well. You have passed the hidden test. What was once invisible will soon be undeniable. Chosen one, you have felt the weight of breaking before, the kind that shatters quietly, leaving no visible pieces, but 1,000 invisible cracks inside your heart. You have known the ache that words cannot name, the kind that only tears understand. But what you did not see then was that your breaking was not destruction, it was construction. The hands of heaven were shaping you through what you thought was the end. When a seed breaks underground, no one applauds it. Yet that breaking is how life begins. You too have broken open in darkness so that new life could grow. The crushing was never cruelty. It was the sound of destiny being pressed into form. Heaven was not punishing you, it was preparing you. There were moments when you whispered, God, "Why me?" And heaven whispered back, "Because I trust you. You were not chosen because you were perfect. You were chosen because you could carry weight and still worship." The breaking had to come because the next chapter required oil, and oil only flows from what has been crushed. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." You have lived this truth. You have felt God's nearness most deeply when everything else fell apart. The Lord never left you. He was in the breaking, guiding you through the fragments toward wholeness. What looked like ruin was the refining fire. What looked like loss was heaven's hidden promotion. The world tells you to fear the breaking, but heaven tells you to embrace it. Because breaking exposes what is real. It strips away every illusion of control until only faith remains. You learn to rely on something greater than logic, to trust something stronger than emotion. You learn to stand even when standing hurt. Do you see it now? Chosen one, what once broke you has become your testimony. What once brought tears now brings understanding. You can finally look at the ashes and realize there was beauty hidden there all along. God was not trying to destroy you. He was freeing you from what could not survive your next level. In every breaking, there is a blessing disguised as loss. You lost people, plans, and comfort, but you found purpose, discernment, and depth. You discovered that what you truly need can never be taken from you because it is written into your soul by the hand of God Himself. The breaking revealed who was truly for you and who only stood beside you in convenience. It unveiled where your strength ends and God's begins. Every time your heart broke, heaven rewrote the script of your destiny with more precision and grace. Chosen one. The pain refined you. The suffering stripped away everything that wasn't eternal. Now, when you speak, you carry authority because your words have been baptized in experience. Your compassion has weight because it was forged through tears. Your empathy now heals others because it was birthed from your own healing. There will come a time when you will thank God for every season that broke you, not because you enjoyed it, but because you understand it now. You realize the breaking was never about loss, it was about becoming. You cannot carry divine purpose and remain unbroken, for unbroken vessels cannot pour out. Let this truth settle deep within you. You are not fragile, you are forged. The pressure that once frightened you has now become your power. You have been tempered in the fire of adversity, and your spirit now shines with the unshakable glow of resilience. The same cracks that once made you feel unworthy are the very places where heaven's light now escapes. And this is the secret few. Understand, brokenness is not the end of faith. It is the birthplace of it. Faith doesn't bloom in comfort, it blooms in chaos. It grows in the soil of surrender, where you say, "Even if I break again, I will still trust you." You are stronger than you have ever been. Not because life got easier, but because grace grew deeper. The very storms that tried to sink you only taught you how to walk on water. You have become living proof that divine power is made perfect in weakness. So walk forward, chosen one, with quiet confidence. You have survived the shattering. You have endured the refining. And now, you carry the fragrance of one who has seen both fire and favor. You are not who you were before the breaking, and that is the greatest miracle of all. Chosen one. Faith is not a straight road. It is a winding path through fog, fire, and the unknown. Sometimes it feels like falling with no promise of landing, like stepping into the air and hoping invisible hands will catch you. You've stood on the edge of belief before, wondering if God would really show up this time. You've asked, "What if I trust and nothing happens?" But that question, dear one, is exactly where faith begins. Faith is the art of falling into God's hands without seeing them. It is leaping from the cliff, knowing He is the ground beneath every step you take. When faith feels like falling, it's only because heaven is inviting you to fly. The fear of the fall is real, but so is the safety of His grip. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 37, verse 24, "Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with His hand." That is your promise. Even when you tremble, even when doubt shakes the edges of your courage, the hand of God remains steady. The stumble is not the end, it's a step in disguise. Every time you thought you were falling apart, you were actually falling into grace. Think of a seed dropped into the earth. It must fall first, buried in the dark, before it can rise and bloom. You are that seed. The darkness you feared was not a grave, it was a garden. What you thought was an ending was the beginning of growth unseen. God never asked you to understand the fall. He asked you to trust the landing. There were times you prayed for wings, but God gave you wind instead. The storm you begged Him to calm became the current that lifted you higher. That's how He works. He teaches you to trust not by removing fear, but by revealing that His hand is stronger than fear itself. Every faith journey begins with trembling knees and uncertain steps. Even Peter, when he walked on water, looked down and began to sink. But the moment he cried out, Jesus reached for him. That story isn't about failure. It's about learning that sinking doesn't mean separation. Even when your faith falters, His presence does not. You've spent seasons trying to calculate faith, to make it logical. But faith isn't a formula. It's a relationship. It's the quiet knowing that even when you can't see the map, you can trust the guide. Faith is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite it. Sometimes God lets you walk on water just long enough to teach you who keeps you afloat. You never fall alone. You never drown unnoticed. The one who called you out of the boat still commands the waves that rise against you. So, if your faith feels fragile today, don't despise it. Even mustard seed faith can move mountains. God doesn't measure the size of your belief. He honors the direction of it. You're still facing Him, and that's enough. Chosen one. Every time you've stumbled, heaven has leaned closer. You are learning to trust, not through comfort, but through courage. You're learning that sometimes the hands of God catch you softly, and sometimes they let you fall just far enough to teach you that even in the descent, you're safe. Like an eagle teaching its young to fly, God stirs the nest and pushes you from comfort, not to harm you, but to awaken the wings you forgot you had. The wind that frightens you now will one day carry you. You will remember this season as the time when faith stopped being theory and became testimony. And when that day comes, when you finally see how the fall became flight, share your story. Someone else is standing on their own edge, trembling like you once did. They need your voice. They need to know that falling into God's hands is not the end, it's the beginning of freedom. If this message has touched your spirit, if it made you breathe a little easier, Let it ripple outward, like this message as a sign of gratitude for what God is still holding together in your life. Share it so another soul can find courage in the storm you've already survived. And if you know in your heart that these words are for you, subscribe not for numbers or applause, but so that each new word of heaven can find you when you need it most. Because, chosen one, your faith is not just your own. You are part of a divine chain of light. Every act of belief you make illuminates the path for another. And perhaps, somewhere, someone on the brink of giving up will find their strength through the echo of your courage. So stand tall, breathe deeply, and remember, the fall was never meant to break you. It was meant to teach you how to fly. Chosen one, heaven speaks again. And this time it comes not as a whisper of comfort, but as a declaration of covenant. I did not bring you this far to leave you. You've walked through deserts that scorched your faith, rivers that nearly drowned your hope, and nights so long that dawn felt like a myth. Yet here you stand still, chosen, still breathing, still becoming. Every step you've taken has been marked by unseen footprints beside you. You were never walking alone. Even when your prayers seemed to echo unanswered, heaven was moving, realigning, preparing the unseen details of your destiny. The silence of God has never meant his absence. It has always meant his strategy. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. When you look back, you'll see how every heartbreak redirected you toward holiness, how every disappointment was protection wearing disguise, how every ending was an introduction to something better. The pattern of your life is divine. Math, nothing wasted, nothing random. You might say, but God, I'm tired. And he answers, then rest in me. You say, I don't see the way forward. And he replies, you don't need to see it. You just need to follow. His covenant is unbreakable, his promise unchanging. If he brought you here, he intends to finish what he began. The covenant of continuance means that the same power that delivered you yesterday will sustain you tomorrow. God's promise is not halfway loyalty, it is eternal consistency. You have not been brought to the edge of breakthrough just to fall back into despair. You've been brought here to witness fulfillment. There is a rhythm in grace. Chosen one, you've walked through fire, and now the ashes beneath your feet are turning to fertile soil. What once burned, you will now bloom around you. Heaven always completes what it begins. The one who started your miracle is not walking away mid-story. Every season of breaking, every wilderness delay, every lonely night has carried a single thread of truth. God's presence has never departed. The covenant still stands. Even when you doubted, even when you rebelled, even when you let go, his grip on you did not loosen. You see, covenant love is not fragile. It doesn't fade when you falter. It remains steady, like an anchor buried deep beneath stormy seas. You may drift on the surface, but you'll never drift too far, because the anchor holds. The God who spoke galaxies into being also spoke promises over your life. And those words cannot return void. What he started, he will finish. What he planted, he will water. What he ordained. Noenemi kanundo. So now, as heaven watches, stand firm again. You are not standing at an ending. You are standing at a threshold. The door before you will open, not because of striving, but because of surrender. When you trust the covenant, the impossible begins to bow. Remember this, God's delays are not his denials. When he seems silent, he is often speaking the loudest through circumstances that force you to depend entirely on him. You are being positioned for divine continuity, grace upon grace, glory upon glory. Chosen one. Pause here. Feel the weight of this moment. Heaven is not asking you to perform only to believe. You have not come this far by chance. You are the result of prayers, mercy, and promises that predate your pain. And now, heaven says, the covenant still holds. The fight is already won. Be still and watch me move. Oh, if this message touches your spirit and you feel that undeniable pull within the quiet, knowing that this word was written with your name on it, then mark it in faith. Comment Ma Verhatisra below, not as a superstition, but as a sign of alignment. The number 1 represents oneness with God, the unity between your journey and his plan. By typing 111, you declare, I am one with the promise. I will not turn back. It is not about the number, it's about the posture of your heart. When you make that declaration, heaven records it. The covenant of continuance becomes active again. You have not been forgotten. You are part of a promise too strong to fail, too holy to fade. God has not led you here to leave you. He has led you here to reveal himself in ways you've never known before. Be still. Chosen one. You're not at the end, you're at the edge of fulfillment. Chosen one. The greatest battles are rarely fought in open fields. They rage in silence inside the mind. The unseen war between fear and faith, doubt and truth, despair and hope. You wake each day and wear your peace like armor. Yet still, invisible arrows fly. This battlefield is sacred ground, for the war within determines the destiny ahead. The enemy does not need to destroy your body if he can exhaust your mind. He whispers half-truths and fears that echo louder than reality. You're too late. You're not enough. You've already failed. But the voice of God speaks another language. His voice says, you are mine. You are chosen. You are equipped. Every time you choose which voice to believe, you decide the outcome of the battle. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. That sound mind is your battleground and your blessing. God did not design your mind to be a prison. He designed it to be a palace of peace where his truth reigns. But peace must be guarded. It does not simply arrive, it is fought for, renewed daily, rebuilt in prayer. When fear rises, remember this: the mind can host only one master at a time. Either anxiety rules or peace reigns. The moment you choose faith, fear loses authority. The moment you choose gratitude, the chains of despair begin to fall. The battle intensifies when you're closest to breakthrough. That's when darkness tries hardest to plant doubt. You might wake up feeling the weight of uncertainty pressing on your chest, whispering that you're unworthy of what's coming. But chosen one, that very pressure is proof of the promise. The mind becomes loudest when heaven is about to shift your season. You are not weak because you struggle. Even Christ, in Gethsemane, wrestled in his spirit until sweat fell like drops of blood. Yet he surrendered. You are in divine company when you wrestle in faith. The struggle means you are alive, engaged, and refusing to yield to despair. Every thought of fear is a shadow, temporary, powerless in the light of truth. When you begin to speak life over yourself, the shadows retreat. When you say, "I will not fear," heaven echoes, "Neither will I forsake you." You were never meant to live bound by mental storms. You were meant to walk on the waters of them. The enemy wants your attention more than your destruction, because attention fuels agreement. If he can make you agree with the lie, he doesn't need to attack your body. The battle is already won in your head. But when you realign your focus with heaven, every weapon forged against you becomes dull. You've been learning the discipline of discernment, the ability to tell when a thought is divine and when it's deception. That's a gift. Few develop. But you are not ordinary. The more you renew your mind with truth, the more you'll recognize peace as your compass. This is why you've felt so much mental warfare lately, because you are stepping into clarity. The enemy attacks where purpose is being born, but clarity is coming. You will wake up one day soon and realize the fog has lifted, and the lies that once felt loud have gone silent. The battle is shifting in your favor. Chosen one. Never underestimate the power of stillness. Silence is not surrender, it's strategy. When you quiet your mind, heaven speaks louder. When you release the need to understand everything, peace rushes in like a river. The sound mind God promised is not something to chase, it's something to reclaim. So breathe. Let this moment remind you that you are not your thoughts. You are the soul observing them. You are not your fears. You are the light exposing them. And light always wins. The war in your mind may feel fierce, but victory has already been declared in your favor. Every morning, choose truth like you choose breath. Whisper to yourself, "My mind belongs to God." Each time you do, the enemy loses ground. You are building a fortress of peace. One thought at a time. The battle may be invisible, but the victory will be undeniable. And when doubt knocks again, and it will answer it with this, "The Lord has given me power, love, and a sound mind." That declaration is a sword that cuts through confusion. It reminds darkness that you are no longer a victim of thought. You are a vessel of divine clarity. The war within is being won. Chosen one, your peace is returning, stronger than before. The battlefield is turning into holy ground. Chosen one. There has been a misconception that struggle means punishment, that hardship means heaven has turned its face away. But you are living proof that this is not true. You have been anointed for adversity. Every difficulty, every test, every heartbreak has carried an invisible anointing, a divine stamp that says, "This one is trusted with fire." You see, oil does not flow without pressure. The anointing that rests upon you was not born in comfort. It was forged in conflict. It came through nights when you had to worship through tears, through seasons where prayer was your only weapon and hope your only shield. The strength you now carry is not learned from ease, it is learned from endurance. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 3, verse 19, "The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread on the heights." This is the essence of divine resilience you were built to climb. Even when the path narrows, Even when the mountain grows steep, the Spirit equips your feet to keep moving. Others might collapse where you continue to rise, because your strength is not human, it is holy. And transformation comes with new responsibility. You are no longer who you were before the storm. Your words carry healing now because they were shaped by pain. Your presence brings peace because you've wrestled with chaos and learned its language. You've been equipped not just to endure, but to empower. You've been wondering why others lean on you, why they seek your wisdom, even when you feel exhausted. It's because they see something in you that you don't always see in yourself, the evidence of divine endurance. You wear peace like armor, not because you haven't fought, but because you have. The light in you is bright because it's been tested by darkness. Chosen one. Remember this. Adversity is heaven's way of increasing capacity. The more pressure you've faced, the more spiritual oil you can carry. That's why your calling feels heavy. It is soaked with purpose. God does not waste difficulty. He multiplies destiny through it. When you were pressed, you discovered your resilience. When you were broken, you found your worship. When everything collapsed, you learned that what's divine in you cannot be destroyed. This is what separates the chosen from the comfortable. The chosen rise, even when rising hurts. Every tear was an offering. Every moment you thought you couldn't endure became a testimony that you could. You were not being tested to fail. You were being tested to reveal the strength already placed within you. The pressure has purified your heart. The fire has made your faith unbreakable. Now you understand why some doors closed when you begged for them to open. Heaven saw the traps ahead. Now you understand why certain relationships had to end. They could not walk with the version of you that's emerging from the ashes. The adversity was not rejection, it was graduation. God never allows battles without purpose. You were not punished. You were promoted through pain. The struggle built muscles you will need for the mantle ahead. Every hardship trained your hands for war and your heart for compassion. Look at yourself now. You are calmer, wiser, quieter, stronger. You have stopped explaining your calling to those who cannot comprehend it. That is the fruit of adversity. It separates you from what is shallow and roots you in what is sacred. Chosen one. You carry an anointing that frightens darkness. You are not just surviving adversity, you are transforming it. What once felt like a curse is now the crown of your purpose. The same storms that once terrified you now obey your peace. So when pressure comes again, and it will remember what you've learned, oil flows from what's crushed, and the greater the crushing, the purer the oil. The next time you face resistance, whisper to yourself, "This is my training ground. This is proof that heaven trusts me." Adversity didn't come to destroy you. It came to prove that you cannot be destroyed. You are not fragile clay, you are refined gold. You are not broken, you are blessed. And every scar you carry glows faintly with divine light, reminding you that even in the hardest seasons, heaven was never absent. Chosen one. Your strength was born in fire, and fire does not frighten those who are made of light. Chosen one. Sometimes the storm is not around you, it's within you. The winds of confusion, the thunder of worry, the lightning of memories that still strike your peace. You've stood in that place where every direction feels uncertain, where heaven seems quiet, and yet, deep inside, you sense something sacred stirring. The storm is not punishment, it's preparation. The voice of God is not always loud. Sometimes it speaks in whispers, hidden beneath the roar of chaos. Sometimes it's the quiet pull in your heart saying, "Keep standing. Don't give up now." You may not realize it, but even in the storm, heaven is speaking. You just have to listen differently. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 4, verse 39, he got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. That same voice still commands the storms inside you. Every anxious thought, every trembling fear, every wave of doubt must bow when that voice speaks. You don't have to fight the storm alone. The one who calmed seas with a word lives within you. When he says, "Peace," chaos loses its authority. But to hear him, you must stop matching the storm's volume. You can't outshout the wind. You must become still enough to recognize the divine tone hidden beneath the noise. God is not found in the earthquake or the fire. He is found in the still, small voice that follows. There were moments when you mistook silence for absence, when you thought heaven had gone quiet because you had failed. But silence is not abandonment, it's instruction. When God goes quiet, it's because he's teaching you to trust what he already said. The last word he gave you is still alive. It has not expired, just because time has passed. Do you remember the storm that once made you cry? Look again, it didn't destroy you, it defined you. The wind that tried to break you ended up bending you toward prayer. The rain that blurred your vision washed away what was never meant to stay. Storms don't come to steal, they come to reveal. Chosen one. The greatest clarity often comes after the loudest chaos. You cannot see your reflection in troubled water, but once it stills, the image appears. So it is with your soul. Peace doesn't return when the world changes. It returns when you surrender. When you stop fighting the wind and let God fight for you, stillness becomes strength. You've been through seasons when it felt like every part of your life was unraveling at once. The more you prayed, the louder the storm grew. But that's because you were in transition. Every spiritual shift begins with shaking. You weren't falling apart, you were being rearranged. The storm was not random, it was refining. Now you know the pattern. The louder the storm, the closer the calm. Before every breakthrough comes a breaking point, and at that point, heaven waits for your choice. Will you trust the storm or the one who commands it? You have already proven your faith. You didn't run when the sky darkened. You didn't curse God when the waves rose higher. You stood, trembling but rooted. And that posture alone caused heaven to move. Sometimes victory looks like endurance, not escape. The storm taught you discernment. You learned to recognize God's voice, not because it was loud, but because it was the only one that brought peace. Now you can stand in the middle of chaos and hear heaven even when others hear nothing. That's the mark of maturity, peace that doesn't depend on silence. Chosen one. Storms will come again, but you will not fear them, because you've already survived worse. You know now that storms don't destroy chosen ones, they deliver them. You emerge stronger, clearer, purer. You walk out drenched in purpose, glowing with the rain of revelation. So when life trembles again, when thunder rolls around your mind, whisper these words: peace is still possible, because it is. The same power that calmed Galilee's waves still breathes inside your chest. The same spirit that quieted the sea still whispers, Be still. Len, and now, if your spirit feels this word as truth, if you recognize that this message carries the sound of your own story, make your declaration below. Comment, "I'm listening." Len, because when you type, "I'm listening," you are not just reacting, you are responding to heaven. You are saying, "I am done shouting over the storm. I am ready to hear the whisper." It is a statement of surrender, a sacred posture of peace. It tells the unseen realm that your faith no longer depends on volume. You can hear God even in silence. Your comment becomes a key. It opens the door of your own awareness. It reminds heaven that you are attentive, available, aligned. And as you do, peace begins to flow again, softly at first, then stronger, until the waves calm and the storm obeys. Chosen one. The light inside you is beginning to rise again. You may not see it yet, but heaven does. It glows softly at first, like dawn breaking after a long night, but soon it will shine so brightly that even darkness will remember your name. You are entering the season where your story becomes someone else's survival guide. You've been walking through valleys long enough to understand what pain teaches. Now, you carry healing in your hands, compassion in your words, and courage in your steps. What once silenced you will now become the sound of deliverance for others. You are no longer just surviving, you are rising. You have not risen by accident. Chosen one. Every valley carved depth into your soul so that when you speak, truth echoes with weight. The climb has not been wasted. It sculpted wings from what once were wounds. Now heaven calls you higher to shine, where others once saw only shadow. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 8, "For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of light." These words are your confirmation. You have walked through shadows not to become bitter, but to understand brightness. The light of God now pulses through you, not because of perfection, but because of persistence. Every tear you've cried has been turned into reflection, amplifying His glory in your life. Like the sunrise cresting over mountains after endless night, your story is no longer about surviving storms, it's about illuminating paths. God hid you not to punish, but to polish. While you felt forgotten, heaven was refining you to reflect more light. What once looked like delay was actually divine development, shaping you into a living lantern. Chosen one. Your glow is not self-made, it's heaven sent. It's what happens when grace meets endurance. You have learned to shine quietly, to carry light into dark spaces without demanding recognition. That is the kind of radiance darkness fears most. Humble, steady, unstoppable. You were never called to flicker with the world's approval. You were called to burn with heaven's purpose. Your light may not please everyone. It was never meant to. True light exposes what hides in shadow, and not everyone is ready to face it. But shine anyway. You are the evidence that darkness never wins. Remember how gold is refined. Fire reveals its purity. So it has been with you. The flames you thought would consume, you have only made you radiant. The ashes beneath your feet are not symbols of loss, but of what no longer holds you down. Your light has texture now. It carries compassion. You can look at others' pain and say, "I understand." That's what makes your glow powerful. It's not hollow brilliance. It's healing embodied. People will find safety in your presence, not because of what you say, but because of what you've survived. Chosen one. The world is waiting for the glow you carry. You are heaven's lighthouse for those lost in fog. Your endurance is their roadmap. Your hope is their horizon. You are not merely rising for yourself. You are rising so that others may find their way. And as you rise, remember, even the sun begins small, one glimmer on the edge of the world. But the longer it rises, the less room darkness has to speak. That is your truth. You don't need to rush the rising. You only need to remain faithful to the process. When your heart feels heavy, let gratitude become your flame. When fear whispers, let faith answer. And when you feel your glow fading, return to the source that lit you in the first place. The light you carry is borrowed glory, sustained by daily surrender. If this message stirs something deep within you, if you can feel heaven's warmth brushing against your soul, then respond, not out of routine, but out of reverence. Like this message as a soft amen from your spirit, a way of saying, I receive this light. Share it so that another weary soul might glimpse dawn through your reflection. And if you wish to keep walking this journey with heaven's voice beside you, subscribe, not for attention, but for connection, so that every word meant for you finds its way home. Chosen one, you were once in darkness, but not anymore. Now, you are light in the Lord, steady, pure, and full of purpose. Walk boldly in that truth. The world doesn't need perfection. It needs your glow. Your light has come. Rise, reflect, reveal. Chosen one. Endurance is not simply surviving. It is worship in motion. It is the quiet persistence of your spirit when everything in you wants to surrender. It is choosing to trust the unseen hand of God when sight fails and strength fades. You have walked this road long enough to know that endurance is not glamorous, but it is sacred. There were seasons when you wanted to stop, when the weight felt unbearable and progress invisible. You whispered, "How long, Lord?" And heaven answered not with a timeline, but with grace enough for the next step. You learned that faith is not sprinting through blessings, it is walking through battles without losing your song. We are reminded through the writings of Paul in the letter to the Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do not give up. And these words have carried you through invisible wars. The world cannot see how many nights you have wrestled with weariness, yet still risen with faith. That quiet rising, that decision to keep showing up when everything feels heavy, is the purest form of endurance. It is heaven's favorite kind of worship, the kind that refuses to quit. Think of a tree, rooted deep, standing through seasons of storm and drought. To the untrained eye, it looks still, unmoving. But beneath the surface, its roots are expanding. So it is with you. While others saw stillness, heaven saw strength deepening beneath your pain. Every delay added another root of faith, making you unshakable. You have become the kind of soul that hell fears and heaven celebrates, the one who keeps believing even when evidence disappears. Endurance has trained you to see beyond circumstances, to interpret silence as strategy, and to hold peace even in chaos. There's a holiness in slow progress. The world glorifies speed, but heaven rewards steadfastness. Some breakthroughs require time because time proves trust. God has been shaping your character to match your calling The weight of destiny demands stability, and endurance is the only foundation strong enough to carry it. You have learned to stop measuring success by results and start measuring it by faithfulness. That shift alone changed everything. You no longer chase signs, you create them through perseverance. You no longer fear waiting. You understand that waiting is warfare, and patience is power. Chosen one, your endurance has been noticed. The Father has seen you sow seeds of faith into barren ground. He has heard the prayers you prayed with trembling hands, not knowing if they would bloom. But heaven is not unjust. It never forgets the labor of love. Every effort has been stored. Every tear has watered the soil of the coming harvest. You are closer to reaping than you realize. The season of endurance is giving way to the season of evidence. The same fields that looked lifeless will soon break open with color. The sound of answered prayers will echo where silence once reigned. Yet even when blessings come, remember the lesson. Endurance was not just a bridge, it is a lifestyle. You will always walk with patience, because you now understand that haste belongs to fear, but endurance belongs to faith. The world will look at your life and see results, but heaven will see rhythm. You endured when quitting would have been easier. You stood when logic said to sit. You worshipped when weariness said to weep. That's what made you different. That's what made you chosen. The mantle of endurance rests on you now, like a garment woven from perseverance and peace. It fits perfectly because it was made in the fire of your trials. When you wear it, others will feel the calm of heaven through you. Your presence will remind them that stability is possible, that faith can be steady even in the storm. Chosen one, keep walking, not because the road is easy, but because you are equipped for it. Every step forward is an act of resistance against the darkness that once tried to stop you. Every breath you take in faith tells the unseen world, I am still here, and I still believe. This is what endurance truly means, not the absence of struggle, but the triumph of spirit over circumstance. And when you finally reach the place heaven has prepared, you will realize that the journey itself was the reward. You have not been walking in circles, you have been walking in strength. Every repetition built resilience. Every delay built depth. And now, your endurance has become your anointing. Stand tall. Chosen one. The path ahead may still twist and turn, but you no longer fear it. You have learned the secret of endurance, that every waiting moment is sacred, and every step taken in faith is victory disguised as patience. Chosen one, can you feel it? The air around you is shifting. What once felt blocked is beginning to move, and what was delayed is being released. Heaven is realigning things that have been tangled for years. You are standing in the middle of a sacred shift, a divine reordering of your life's story. Everything that felt lost, paused, or forgotten is being brought back into motion. You have waited long, endured much, and sown faithfully in seasons of silence. But now, the winds of transition are stirring. Heaven is saying, it is time. Doors that refuse to open will begin to respond to your presence. Not because you are lucky, but because you are aligned. When divine timing meets divine readiness, nothing can remain locked. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 25, I will restore to you the years that the locusts have eaten. Old, this is not a poetic promise, it is a decree. God is not simply giving you back what you lost. He is redeeming the time that loss stole. Every delay has been recalculated. What you thought was wasted has been multiplied in heaven's accounting. The shift you are feeling is not random. It's restoration, awakening. The sacred shift often begins quietly. You start noticing peace where anxiety used to dwell. You find yourself forgiving what once haunted you. You feel lighter, freer, even though nothing external has changed yet. That's because heaven always transforms the internal before revealing the external. The atmosphere of your soul changes first. Then your surroundings follow. Chosen one. This shift is not about starting over, it's about starting right. God is not taking you back to where you were. He's taking you forward into what you were always meant to become. The pain, the pruning, the pauses, they were not detours. They were divine architecture. You were being shaped for stability before being positioned for visibility. You've learned how to carry peace without proof, how to believe without evidence, how to trust without signs. And now heaven says, you're ready. The sacred shift is heaven's answer to your perseverance. The doors you knocked on long ago are about to swing wide, not because of force, but because of favor. Sometimes this kind of shift comes gently, like dawn spreading across the horizon. Other times, it comes suddenly, like lightning cutting through the night. Either way, it carries the same message. Heaven has moved on your behalf. You are not in the same place spiritually. Even if your surroundings haven't yet caught up, you will soon notice divine reversals. Situations that once intimidated you will start working in your favor. Conversations will turn unexpectedly toward opportunity. Hearts that once resisted you will soften. This is the evidence of alignment when heaven's frequency overtakes earthly friction. You are being synchronized with destiny's rhythm. Chosen one. You may feel both excitement and unease right now, because shifts are both beautiful and unsettling. Change often disguises itself as chaos before it becomes clarity. But trust this, God never allows movement without meaning. Every door opening, every person entering or exiting, every sudden change, it's all part of divine choreography. You are not losing stability, you are gaining direction. You are not being uprooted, you are being replanted in richer soil. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. The sacred shift removes what cannot sustain the next level and replaces it with what will anchor you there. Heaven is meticulous. When God shifts you, it's never partial, it's complete. Old cycles close, so new seasons can flourish. You may feel the weight of endings, but endings in God's hands are beginnings wrapped in disguise. What looks like loss is actually liberation. And in this precise moment, heaven is inviting you to mark your faith, to acknowledge that you recognize the movement in your spirit. If you feel that this word speaks directly to the shifting you've been sensing, make your declaration below. Comment 444. End. This is not just a number, it's a symbol of stability and divine order. By typing 444, you are saying, I align myself with heaven's structure. I accept the shift. You are agreeing with the reordering of your path. Heaven sees that agreement as obedience, and obedience activates acceleration. When you comment, you are not performing, you are prophesying. You are writing a declaration in the digital ether that says, I'm ready for alignment. And the moment you do, you will sense a peace settling in you, confirming that heaven has heard. chosen one. This shift will not pass you by. It was made for you. You will see long-delayed prayers answered in unexpected ways. You will see provision appear from hidden places. You will see peace take root where fear once lived. This is the sacred shift. Step gently, breathe deeply, and trust the timing. Heaven is not behind schedule. It is right on time. Chosen one. The closer you come to fulfillment, the more heaven tests loyalty. Not loyalty to people, not loyalty to comfort, but loyalty to the call. The weight of destiny demands purification, and that purification always begins with the question, will you still obey when it hurts? This is the quiet examination of the heart that every chosen one must face before elevation. It does not come with trumpets or signs, but with moments of choice, subtle crossroads, where you must decide between convenience and conviction, between what feels safe and what is sacred. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Elijah in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. Oh, you have been here before, standing in the tension between your will and his will. Each time you chose surrender, heaven took note. Each time you trusted without clarity, another layer of your soul was refined. This is the final phase before release, when the distractions grow louder, when the offers to compromise appear more appealing, when you are tempted to settle for almost lent but chosen one. Almost has never been your calling. You were not designed for half measures or partial obedience. Your life is a covenant, not a contract. A contract can be broken when it no longer benefits you, but a covenant endures even when it costs you. That is what distinguishes the faithful from the fragile. The test of loyalty rarely arrives in dramatic ways. It shows up in small decisions, in how you respond when you are misunderstood, in how you treat those who cannot repay you, in whether you remain humble when you could boast. These are the quiet altars where heaven measures the depth of your devotion. Sometimes the test is silence, when God doesn't answer the way you expect. Will you still trust his heart when you can't trace his hand? Sometimes the test is delay, when the door you prayed for stays shut longer than your patience prefers. Will you still believe that his timing is perfect? You have passed through the wilderness of waiting. Now you stand in the furnace of faithfulness. The enemy can't take your blessing, but he will try to take your focus. He whispers, surely you've done enough. Surely God will understand if you ease up. But heaven whispers louder, stay the course. Don't look back. Finish well. Loyalty in the kingdom is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up again and again with an obedient heart, even when your emotions argue otherwise. The greatest victories often arrive disguised as choices to remain faithful when no one is watching. Remember Abraham, standing on the mountain, knife trembling in his hand. God didn't need the sacrifice of Isaac. He needed the confirmation of Abraham's loyalty. And the moment Abraham proved it, heaven intervened. The test always precedes the provision. You, too, are standing on your own mountain. You may not understand why the test feels this intense, but it's because the promise is near. The closer you are to break through, the greater the pressure becomes, not to destroy you, but to distinguish you. God trusts you with tests that would terrify others, because he knows your heart has been forged through fire. Chosen one. Loyalty is the final gate before elevation. Those who pass through it carry an authority that cannot be faked. It's the authority that comes from saying yes, even when no feels easier. It's the peace of knowing that obedience always births blessing. Even when the path is painful, you have been faithful in obscurity. You have prayed when no one saw. You have chosen truth when lies looked easier. All of heaven has watched and whispered, "That one belongs to me." Oh, there will come a day soon when what was tested in private will be rewarded in public, not as pride, but as purpose fulfilled. God does not forget obedience. He multiplies it. Every yes you've given will echo through eternity. Stay steady. Even now, the temptation to give up right before the promise arrives is the enemy's last attempt. The test of loyalty always peaks just before promotion. The pressure you feel is proof that breakthrough is near. When the test comes again, and it will remember who you are. You are not someone who bends under burden. You are one who bows only to God. Your loyalty is not for sale. Your heart cannot be bought by comfort or applause. You serve the audience of one, and he has already written victory beside your name. Chosen one, lift your head. The testing will not last forever. It is not meant to break you. It is meant to reveal the unshakable faith you now carry. You will emerge refined, radiant, and resolute. A living testimony that loyalty to God is never in vain. Chosen one. You are not walking this path alone. All around the world, scattered like embers across nations, there are others like you, those who have carried the fire of faith through wilderness and war, through rejection and revelation. You are part of a hidden army of light, a company of souls forged by trial and refined by purpose. Heaven calls them crown carriers and torch bearers, and you, beloved, are among them. You did not choose this identity, it chose you long before your first breath. Heaven marked you. The weight you've carried, the burdens that others could not understand, were never random. You were entrusted with divine fire because heaven knew you would not let it die. You have been trained in silence to burn in seasons when others grow cold, as was written in the Psalms by David, chapter 18, verse 28. You, Lord, keep my lamp burning. My God turns my darkness into light. End of Rennie. This is your truth. The lamp of your spirit has flickered, but it has never gone out, even in your lowest moments. Even when hope felt small and faith felt faint, the flame endured. That is the mark of a torchbearer when everything else fades. Their fire remains. The world does not understand these chosen ones. They appear ordinary, but carry extraordinary presence. Their words comfort. Their eyes discern. Their silence carries weight. They are the ones who walk into dark spaces and somehow make it lighter, not because they try, but because they are light. You are one of them. Your crown is not made of gold, it's made of endurance. Every time you chose love instead of bitterness, you added another jewel. Every time you forgave when it wasn't deserved, another light was set into your crown. It is not a visible one, but heaven sees it gleam. The humility you carry is its foundation. The wisdom you've gained is its shine. Being a crown carrier means you understand both glory and grief. You know what it means to walk with divine favor and yet still feel misunderstood. You've learned that light attracts both the lost and the envious. And still, you do not dim yourself. You shine anyway. Because the world's reaction has never been your motivation. Torchbearers don't need recognition, they burn for revelation. Their lives preach silently through consistency. Their existence alone disrupts darkness. You may not realize it, but your endurance has inspired those who watch from afar. People you'll never meet have found courage through your quiet strength. That is the unseen ministry of the chosen one. Heaven often keeps its brightest warriors hidden until the appointed time. That's why you felt unseen. But hiddenness was never punishment, it was preservation. A torch left exposed too early can burn out before the real battle begins. God concealed you, not to silence you, but to sustain your flame. And now, as the world grows darker, your light becomes more necessary. You were not trained for comfort, you were trained for confrontation with despair. Where others see endings, you will see openings. Where others panic, you will pray. Your crown is not for decoration, it's a sign of dominion. You carry authority in realms unseen because you've bowed low in seasons unnoticed. Each time you rise after falling, your torch burns brighter. Each time you bless what once broke you, your flame expands. You are becoming a walking altar of resilience. Your life, a living sermon of grace under pressure. There is a reason your path has been heavy. It takes weight to build warriors. God could not crown you without first testing the strength of your neck. Every trial that tried to crush you was actually calibrating you for the glory you now carry. You are being called now to walk among other torchbearers. Together, your lights form constellations, patterns of purpose that guide generations. The broken will find hope again because you dared to shine through your own night. The hopeless will look up and see that the stars still burn, and they will remember that God is not done. Chosen one, wear your invisible crown with quiet confidence. You don't need to announce it. Those who have eyes to see will recognize it. Walk with dignity, knowing that your scars have become scepters. Your wounds have become windows where light enters and exits freely. You are not fragile, you are flame. And when the darkness comes again, and it will remember this, a single torch can set an entire forest ablaze. You are that torch. Your obedience, your compassion, your persistence, they are sparks of divine wildfire spreading through the world. You carry more than your own destiny now. You carry the hope of many. So lift your head. Chosen one, let the crown rest. Let the torch burn. Walk boldly into what is next. For heaven has found in you a reliable flame. The world will not be the same because you refuse to go out. Chosen one, can you hear it? That deep hum beneath your thoughts, the quiet vibration of destiny unfolding. It's the sound of purpose finally aligning, of heaven's design meeting earth's timing. What once felt delayed is now awakening. You are walking into a moment where everything begins to make sense. The world around you may look the same, but the atmosphere has changed. You are shifting from waiting to witnessing, from endurance to emergence. The sound you hear is not noise, it is destiny's melody. A song written for your spirit before time began. And now, heaven is turning up the volume, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 10, I have come that they may have life, and have it more abundantly. Every broken season, every unanswered prayer, every silent night, they were all notes in the same song. God was composing your life into a symphony, even when you only heard dissonance. What felt like chaos was actually rhythm. What seemed delayed was divine timing. Chosen one, you have been in the tuning phase, stretched, tightened, and refined. Every hardship has been preparing your strings for harmony. Now, heaven raises the baton. The music begins. The sound of destiny unfolds through you. There is a sound that only you can release into the world. It's the sound of resilience, the sound of faith that refuses to die, the sound of a heart that has been broken but still believes. Your life itself is an instrument, and every note of pain has deepened your resonance. Think of an orchestra before a concert, each musician testing, tuning, aligning. It sounds like chaos until the conductor lifts his hand. Then, suddenly, every sound unites into beauty. That's what heaven has been doing in your life, bringing order to what once sounded like confusion. The sound of destiny is not noise, it's restoration in melody. You are now stepping into your part of the song, the crescendo, the moment where all the fragments converge into harmony. You are not an echo, you are an original note in heaven's masterpiece. When you speak, peace follows. When you move, light ripples outward. You are part of a greater score being played across creation. And here is the secret: when you live in rhythm with divine purpose, you become music to weary souls. People around you begin to feel hope again. Not because you preach loudly, but because your life hums with quiet grace. The sound of destiny isn't always thunder, it's often the steady heartbeat of one who refuses to quit. So, let your sound rise. Let the world hear what endurance sounds like when it turns into praise. Let the light of your obedience sing louder than the noise of your fear. You are heaven's composition in motion, written in faith, tuned by fire, and conducted by grace. If these words resonate deep within you, if you feel something awakening inside, the kind of stirring that reminds you who you are, then respond in gratitude. Like this message, not because it is beautiful, but because you recognize the truth singing in it. Share it, not for numbers or recognition, but because someone else out there needs to remember that their sound still matters. And if you desire to keep walking this journey, hearing heaven's heartbeat in each message, then subscribe, not for content, but for connection. Every new word you'll hear is another measure in this divine symphony. Together, we become a choir of chosen ones, each carrying our note of light into a weary world. Now, take a moment, breathe deeply, and listen. The sound of destiny is subtle. It often hides beneath the noise of life. It's in the laughter that returns after sorrow, the stillness that follows surrender, the gentle hum of faith when everything else goes silent. That is heaven's rhythm, and you are part of it. If this message touched you, let your comment become your echo. Type, "I choose my crown." And because when you write, "I choose my crown," you are not claiming pride, you are proclaiming identity. You are saying, "I choose purpose over pain. I choose destiny over doubt. I choose to wear what heaven placed on me." That declaration activates faith. It reminds the unseen that you know who you are and whose you are. So, chosen one, let the sound of your faith be heard. Walk forward with quiet fire. Speak gently, but carry divine authority. You are the sound of destiny unfolding strong, steady, and full of grace. And when the world hears your melody, may it remember the composer, chosen one, Pause for a moment and listen not to the noise of the world, but to the stillness that follows victory. The battles that once roared around you have quieted. The storms that tested your endurance have lost their fury. This is the sound of heaven's applause, soft, sacred, and sure. It's not the kind of praise that comes from men, but from angels who have watched your journey with reverent wonder. They saw every night you wept without words, every time you prayed when your faith felt thin, every moment you chose obedience over comfort. Heaven celebrates not just what you achieved, but how you stayed faithful through what broke you. As was written in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 7, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Those words are not about perfection, they are about persistence. You have fought when others fled. You have finished paths that others feared to begin. You have kept your faith, even when it cracked under the weight of uncertainty. That is why heaven applauds, not because you were flawless, but because you refused to forfeit. The applause of heaven is not thunderous, it is tender. It is felt more than heard, a warmth that wraps around your weary spirit, whispering, well done. You are not standing at the edge of exhaustion anymore. You are standing at the threshold of elevation. The time of survival has shifted into the time of significance. What once felt like endless trial has now become testimony. The very things that tried to destroy you are now the foundation stones of your authority. You carry in your spirit a quiet majesty, the kind that only those who have walked through fire and remained faithful can understand. You have become the embodiment of divine endurance. You no longer speak from theory, but from transformation. Every scar you bear is a sermon. Every healed wound is a hymn. And every lesson learned in silence has become a language that heaven recognizes. Chosen one. Heaven's applause is not about reward, it's about recognition. God is not impressed by your victories, He is moved by your devotion. He saw you worship when it didn't make sense. He watched you serve when no one noticed. He listened when you cried out, I trust you. Even when trust cost everything. Those were the moments that shook the heavens, not because of their grandeur, but because of their purity. The applause of men fades quickly, but heaven's applause echoes through eternity. What you've accomplished in secret has become a fragrance in the spiritual realm, a scent of steadfastness that does not fade. Every time you stood back up, that fragrance grew stronger. Every time you forgave again, the heavens grew brighter. This is why your story carries such power. It wasn't built on comfort, it was built on covenant. You didn't climb by ambition, you were lifted by grace. You are not standing because you never fell, you are standing because you refused to stay down. That is the rhythm of heaven's celebration. Think of the finish line of a marathon. The runners who cross first receive applause. Yes, but the greatest cheer often rises for the one who comes last. Limping, exhausted, yet unyielding. Heaven honors that kind of soul, the one who refuses to quit even when the world has already moved on. That's you, chosen one. You may not have finished first, but you finished faithfully. This moment, this peace you feel, is not absence of battle, it's the presence of completion. The purpose of the pain has been fulfilled. The lesson has taken root. The race is not over forever, but this lap of your journey has been run with excellence. You can rest now, not in apathy, but in awe. The applause you feel is not simply for endurance, it's for transformation. You are not who you once were. The bitterness that once lingered has turned into wisdom. The anger that once burned has become compassion. You have been reshaped into a vessel heaven can trust. Chosen one. Let that realization sink deep. Heaven trusts you now. You are no longer just being refined, you have become the refiner. Your voice carries weight because it has walked through wilderness. Your presence carries peace because it has known chaos. And as heaven applauds, it also anoints. This peace you feel is not the end, it's empowerment. You are being strengthened for what comes next. You are entering a new chapter where influence replaces isolation, and purpose flows like rivers from the very places that once held pain. Stand still in this sacred applause. Let it wash over you. You don't need to strive anymore. You've already proven your heart. You are not fighting for validation. You are walking in it. The angels rejoice not because you reached perfection, but because you reached surrender. Heaven's applause is not for the one who did everything right, but for the one who stayed when everything went wrong. Chosen one. This is the part of the story where peace finally feels natural. The striving has ceased. The fear has quieted. And grace has settled upon you like a morning mist. You have reached a sacred stillness, the space between almost and fulfilled. The battles behind you have not been wasted. They have become stepping stones that lead straight into purpose. You have crossed deserts of doubt and rivers of resistance. And yet, your feet are steady. You have carried promises through wilderness, seasons, protecting them like fragile embers in the wind. And now, those embers are beginning to glow again, not as fragile light, but as steady fire. What once was struggle has become strength. What once felt endless has found completion. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah. Chapter 54, verse 10. Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed, says the Lord, who has compassion on you. This is the truth that crowns your journey. The love of God has not shifted once. Even when you doubted, even when you stumbled, even when you walked away in confusion, His compassion remained unbroken. The covenant that began before your birth has held you through every storm, every test, every tear. You were never lost. You were being led. Look around you now, not with eyes of flesh, but with eyes of faith. The terrain of your life has changed. What once looked barren now blooms. The fields that held nothing but silence are now singing again. Heaven has restored not just what you lost, but who you are. You are no longer the wounded one. You are the witness. Every scar on your soul tells the story of mercy. Every healed wound glows faintly with remembrance, not of pain, but of presence, the presence that never left you. Even in your darkest night, you have walked through seasons where you saw no light at all, and yet somehow you became the light. That is the mystery of divine transformation. It turns endurance into illumination. This is fulfillment, not fireworks or fanfare. But, quiet, completeness. It's the moment a seed realizes it has become a tree. It's the peace that whispers, you made it. The journey didn't break you, it built you. And though the world may never understand the full depth of your becoming, heaven does. Every step was watched. Every fall was forgiven. Every rise was recorded. You have learned that faith is not about avoiding the valley, it's about finding God within it. Hope is not about escaping the storm, it's about learning to sing in the rain. And love, the purest love, is not found in grand gestures, but in the small, steady truth that says, I am still here. End of Chosen One. Rest now in that truth. You have carried much, and heaven honors your endurance. But this rest is not retirement, it is readiness. You are stepping into a new rhythm of grace where work feels like worship, and peace becomes your constant companion. You have been trained by trials, taught by time, and transformed by trust. You are entering a season where you will no longer need to fight for what belongs to you. The ground beneath your feet is sacred because it was watered with your tears. Every promise attached to your obedience is now taking form. You are standing in manifestation, the physical reflection of what faith built in secret. And yet, even here, you remain humble. The true chosen never boast, they bow. You understand now that the story was never about your strength, it was always about His. Every victory traces back to mercy, every step forward to grace. You have become a living testament that God never leaves His own unfinished. So, lift your gaze to the horizon. The light breaking ahead is not new. It's the same light that has guided you all along. You're just finally close enough to see its full brilliance. The mountains you feared have turned into monuments. The valleys you dreaded have become vineyards. The wilderness that once isolated you has now become your testimony's stage. Chosen One. Fulfillment is not the end, it is the beginning of legacy. What you have walked through will now guide others. The same compassion that kept you will now flow through you. You are no longer merely the receiver of grace, you are its carrier. The world will know peace because you embody it. And as you breathe in this stillness, remember, the journey was never about reaching perfection. It was about realizing presence. The same God who began this work in you has finished it beautifully. You stand now clothed in peace, crowned in purpose, anchored in love. Chosen One. Let these last words settle gently in your heart. The story you have walked through was never meant to end in exhaustion, it was meant to end in awakening. You have discovered what few ever find. That divine purpose is not somewhere out there, it has always lived within you. The pain, the pauses, the pruning, all of it was a sacred process of remembering who you were before the world told you to forget. You were never meant to blend in, you were meant to burn brightly. The journey has been long, but every mile has revealed a piece of the eternal truth. You were chosen, not for comfort, but for glory. Now, walk gently into tomorrow, not with striving, but with stillness. Let gratitude become your language, and peace your pace. The same God who led you through the wilderness will walk with you into promise. You have not been forgotten, you have been fortified. You are not ending, you are evolving. Carry your crown quietly. Let your light speak louder than your words. Live in such a way that your very existence becomes worship, a living song of thanksgiving for all that He has done. And when the world asks how you survived, you will simply smile and say, I did not. Grace carried me. Oh, this is your completion. This is your calling. This is your crown.